There we go. All right, Jennifer, please give us our FAFSA updates. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Twyla. I will share my screen and give those updates because it has been a pretty big couple of weeks for FAFSA. I'm sorry. Can you see my screen? Excellent. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Just do the slides.
There we go.
All right, again, and I am Jennifer with the Colorado Department of Higher Education. I'm the outreach navigator. The first and foremost, the biggest update, of course, is that contributors without a Social Security number can now go through and complete the form. And this is whether they're verified or not. There is a process that they are going through when they create their FSA ID. If they're given the questions to verify their identity and they answer those correctly and they can be verified through that process, then they'll be able to go through and complete their student's FAFSA. Or the other situation could be that they're not verified through those questions and they will need to do manual entry. But even in that case, they will still be able to go forward, move forward in the FAFSA form and continue filling out their information. They'll just want to watch their email for the email that gives them that case number and the instructions to verify their identity. With that process going on, I do think it's important to let everyone know and send the message out there that not many, if any, are being chosen for the identification verification. They are being put through so that the FAFSA can be sent to the students' schools. And that's just important so that parents can feel comfortable and contributors can feel comfortable still entering all of the manual information. It is a lot of information for them to enter, so they may need some encouragement with that. But students can also now go in and make corrections or add signatures, which is great. And then ICERs are being sent to schools within the 1 to 3 days. That's either way, if students are submitting it for the first time or if they're making corrections and submitting, those ICERs are being returned to the schools in 1 to 3 days. Institutions of higher education will be able to make their corrections as of the end of June. So they've been waiting to be able to make those corrections if there's special circumstances for the student or they need to correct amounts for the student, financial aid amounts. They'll be able to do that at the end of June. One thing that they are finding, even though contributors without Social Security numbers can now go in and complete the FAFSA form, some of the forms that are being reprocessed have been returned to schools with blank SAI fields or incorrect Pell eligibility flags. Those ICERs are being identified. They are going to be reprocessed and sent back to the school. A good way for schools to keep up on this is the technical FAQ that FSA has created. It is really a valuable resource. It has all of the issues that have happened with FAFSA this year. So you can imagine there's a few pages here, but it's really cool to scroll through them and be able to see what issues we're still dealing with, what issues has been resolved, and if there's a workaround for it. So you can Google technical FAQ and known issues.pdf, and that should pull it up for you. Paper FAFSAs are going to they're going to start processing those at the end of June as well, which is great news, especially for incarcerated students who may be sent in those paper FAFSAs, or all those students who are trying to meet deadlines. Those FAFSAs will be processed the end of next month. And as of right now, what we are looking like nationally as of May 10th, we've got 40.2% of seniors who have filled out their FAFSA. And in Colorado, we are about at 34% as of May 17th. This is fantastic, turning the dial slowly, but nonetheless turning the dial, which is important. So still keep encouraging students and families to fill out that FAFSA or the CASFA. I just wanted to mention some great news here in Colorado. House Bill 24-1340 was passed. That's the Colorado Promise Act. This is a tax credit that will cover like 2 years of college for families whose annual gross income is 90,000 or less. One of the requirements for this is that the student and family must fill out the FAFSA and the CASFA. As you can see, there are other requirements there as well, but hopefully this could help to turn the dial as well. If you're interested in more details about this, you can just Google HB 24-1340. Again, I'm Jennifer Lucero with the Colorado Department of Higher Ed. If there's anything at all that I can do to help you, your students, or their families with their FAFSA, please feel free to reach out. That's all I've got for now, though, Twyla.
Great, thank you so much for that, Jennifer. And now next, we're going to move into, I'm just going to talk briefly about our FAFSA completion portal. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick, just so you can kind of look and see, for those of you who haven't seen the portal, what it is. Sorry, I have too many screens open. Let me open this. I'm sorry, I was not fully ready. Okay. It's coming up now. All right, so you will see here at FAFSA.highered.colorado.gov is our the state of the Colorado Department of Higher Ed's FAFSA completion portal. And right now, Jennifer just gave the numbers that we're looking at. And what this is this is a dashboard in which you can view full districts, individual school, see how many students they have graduating and how many FAFSAs they have submitted, and the percentage, as well as the number of completed, as well as the numbers or percentage of completed. With that, we have sent out, it's been about 2 weeks. There was a letter sent out to all superintendents and BOCES from our executive director, Dr. Angie Piccioni, letting them know about the FAFSA completion portal. And if they would like to access student level data, they will need to fill out a data share agreement. So we gave them information on, we gave them the draft of the data share agreement, a form in which they can fill out their designated, I guess, contact people at the school as well as the school district. If they have any addition, we also sent them a form if they have like a large school district, for example, like Jeffco or Denver Public Schools, they can put down the name of each school counselor within each of the schools. So we have only received back 15 data share agreements. They should be getting sent out with the information that they gave us populated into the draft data share agreement, and that is being sent out hopefully today. It will be sent to the superintendent and then for their signature, and then Dr. Angie Piccioni will sign it, and then they will receive a copy of the signed data share agreement, as well as Maggie, who is our data person working on the portal. She on the back end has already input all of those school counselors, especially for those large school districts. So all it is, I believe, is once she receives the signed copy, then she can flip the switch and then they can have access to the portal. So the portal, it will really be helpful for those schools who want to go reach out to individual students and get, they're like, hey, it looks like you started your FAFSA, but you did not complete it. So please make sure you do this. This tool will really help the state of Colorado to increase FAFSA completions. And then also, just so you all know, that we are working on updating the portal itself. It's going to get a whole new look, whole new feel, and we are working on to include CASFA data within these numbers. So look for that in the coming fiscal year. We are currently working with a vendor to get those changes and updates to the portals. So Does anybody have any questions on the data or on the data share agreements or the FAFSA completion portal? Nope. Okay. Let's move on to our next piece of the agenda. We are going to move to Sophie, and she's going to give us some CASFA updates. Sophie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. I am excited to talk to you all about CASFA because there is, as always, a lot going on right now. So let me share my screen and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so thank you again. And we'll see if we can get there. Okay, so I'm Sophie and I'm the CASFA coordinator. So the CASFA SAI calculation has an update. The 24-25 CASFA ICERs that were processed after 7:35 a.m. Mountain Time on April 15th have updated SAI calculations. So the students can edit their CASFA so their information with the correct SAI calculation is sent to their school immediately. The 24-25 CASFA ICERs will be reprocessed to update the SAI calculation at the end of this month. So what does that mean? That means students can edit their CASFAs. Students who completed their CASFAs between the day that it opened, which was December 31st, until 7:30 a.m. on April 15th, they can edit their CASFA to obtain a new ICER with the correct SAI. So the students who want to do this will be students who need to compare financial aid awards as soon as possible to make decisions to meet commitment deadlines. So if you're working with students, please do not tell all of your students to edit their CASFAs because not all of them need to. So additionally, consider supporting a student who struggles to follow instructions with in-person communication as opposed to sending them an email or virtual message. As many of you know who work with students, sometimes students get more confused and this could be confusing. So I just am trying to avoid that if possible. So I created some videos in English and Spanish, as well as written instruction PDFs with screenshots, and those are available on the CASFA website. I can also edit a CASFA live to show you anytime if you're interested in seeing it. It's a pretty easy process. You just click edit and then you click through and you electronically sign or e-sign, so you don't actually have to change anything. So you can find that information at these links. I also here's some contact information about the CASFA as well as my contact information. Just a quick share in case it's helpful. The CASFA SAI calculation is updated based on the FAFSA SAI calculation. The FAFSA earlier this winter, the FAFSA shared that they needed to update the SAI calculation based on those income protection tables, which is basically for inflation. So the FAFSA updated their SAI basically for inflation a few months ago, and CASFA did it as well. That is actually my entire update, pretty quick. Does anyone have any questions? Great. Well, please contact me if you have any questions. I'm happy to assist.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that, Sophie. Jennifer is going to talk a bit about summer melt resources.
Thanks, Twyla. I can't believe it's already here. Summer melt. It's time to think about summer melt, even though it's only like 40 where I live. But summer is coming, and so what I've been doing is digging around, looking for some resources that we could use in for summer melt. One of the websites that I found, Raise Me, it's raise.me actually, it's a blog, but I really liked what they had to say on their 5 tips for summer melt, because they really direct it more towards the colleges, which at this point, I think we may have to, because high schools are losing contact with their seniors. And so really the only way we're going to have to communicate them is through colleges that they've either inquired about or are interested in. The first thing they have is engage students with one focus at a time. I can't think of a more appropriate focus than either filling out, completing, or correcting the student's FAFSA. So even if like admissions reps, were reaching out, seeing if they could help out getting those FAFSAs completed or started. They also suggest utilizing social media. If you don't belong to CDHE's Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook, I highly recommend that you join, because our social media person, they are awesome with posting really important and relevant posts and events. Also, they suggest promoting student stories and peer mentors. This is such a great idea to get current students involved in trying to motivate and help future students complete their FAFSAs and get their enrollment completed before August. And then also, of course, connecting with parents is a huge one right now. They can really kind of force the hand on getting things done in a timely manner, and utilizing in-person events. That's something that we're looking at as well. We want to be available to any institutions that are holding FAFSA, CASFA events, where we can come in and help make sure students understand what they're filling out and that they're getting those things submitted. One of the things on here, the utilize social media. If you are looking for resources, NCAN is doing a Do the FAFSA promotion. They have a social media toolkit here that you can go into, and they have lots of things that you can post, videos, or just posts like this for Facebook, and they have them all. This is the Facebook one, but you can go to like LinkedIn or Instagram. They have them for that as well. Another resource that we came by actually was this Strategic Data Project Summer Melt Handbook. This is from the Center for Education Policy Research in Harvard. But they have a lot of good case studies here that schools have actually done, and they have the numbers that show the success of each event that those schools have done. So this might be something that you scroll through and look at to maybe try to develop some events for your institution. Let's see. So and then just NCAN is a great one. Oh, these were some other tips that the Denver Scholarship Foundation, they posted these for students who already have a portal on Denver Scholarship Foundation's website. But I thought that these were also good tips for even if they're just trying, finish their FAFSA, finish their application, but students should be turning on their email notifications, checking their email regularly. But also what I would recommend to students is logging into their FAFSA portal and checking their FAFSA portal regularly. Do they have their submission summary, or are there corrections needed? There isn't necessarily going to be an email about that. So just logging in and checking regularly could be helpful. Join the new online community. Sure, join Denver Scholarship online community, but like I was saying, join other online communities as well, just like CDHE. And then one thing that I am really pushing as well is having and encouraging students to contact the financial aid office themselves. Let's really motivate students to be proactive this year. These students are going to be some of the best employees, I bet, because they had the whole technology thing their freshman year. Now they have the whole FAFSA thing this year, and they have really had to grow, learn how to be resourceful. They have had to learn about follow-up and follow through. So this is just another step for them, but it's going to make them really great humans in the future. I just know it. Those are the resources I found, but I'll keep looking and share anything else that I might be able to find.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Jennifer. Also, we should compile all these and perhaps post them on our website, on CDHE's resources website. So let's work on that offline. So great. All right, so next, we have a few questions that were asked during registration. The first one is, it was more of a statement. They want some information regarding mixed families, concerns for FAFSA, as well as for undocumented parents for FAFSA. So Jennifer, I think you had a resource that you were going to share and talk about. I'm trying to find it. Or was it from
Oh yeah, it was
article?
was it the 9 steps?
Yeah, I think it was also one of the articles that was in our news clips. Let me find it. I just sorry about
Oh,
that.
right.
Mhm.
I put the Chronicle of Higher Education
Thank you.
article in the chat, if that's
Nice.
the one we're talking
Yep,
about.
that's the
because
one. Thank you
it
so
just
much.
it gives pretty specific technical information about what exactly the student is experiencing. And the student is still experiencing issues. However, there are some things that you could replicate. If you had another student who is having issues, you could try some of those strategies that are outlined in that article.
Great, thank you. And I think you might have to have an access login to view that. But in here, Sophie, you said, does it give the different kind of like the scenarios? Does it give the scenarios of each of when people are having issues with the FAFSA? Okay, let me log in. Let me see if I can log in. Let's see. There we go. I got access to it. You have to. Okay, thank you. Nah, it won't let me. So Jennifer, do you want to talk a little bit about the workaround for parents who do not have social security numbers? Is there any
Yeah.
sort of workaround? Are we still having that issue?
I mean, it's not really a workaround. It happens automatically now. They did change the page where it asks if they have a social security number to make that question more clear. What the contributor without the social security number will do is check that box. When they check that box, the TransUnion questions will populate. So verifying an address or previous phone number, or maybe an employer. And if the contributor answers those questions correctly, then they will move forward in the FAFSA, but they will have to fill out their federal tax information manually. And that's what I was saying before. It's a lot of information. It's many, many fields. But they can definitely, get that done if they have their tax information handy and have the patience to sit through that. Really, that's what they'll have to do to see if their student is eligible for federal aid. If they don't answer, if they're not verified through those TransUnion questions, they will still move forward and enter their federal tax information. However, they will also want to check their email for an email from FSA that requests they forward that email back to them with the appropriate documentation. So ID, attestation form, and or they have the different types of identification that they can use. There's like a combination utility bill and different IDs that they can do. And then with that, just make sure all photographs are clear, numbers are legible, everything's readable, because that's been the only holdup with those verifications.
All right. Thanks so much for that, Jennifer. There was one more question in here. And it was, how will changes affect students graduating in 24-25 school year? So this is the rising seniors who just left junior year or about to leave junior year. The changes we're hoping will be all, we'll be getting used to all the changes with this new FAFSA or better FAFSA. This summer, Sophie shared the resources, and it was the 9 steps. Students who are juniors can use that resource, and kind of it lets them know what they need to do for the summer. There has been some rumors, and we're not sure, we haven't confirmed or got the confirmation on whether or not the FAFSA will launch for the 25-26 school year in October. Last year, as you know, it was delayed about 2 months. So we have not heard that. We have expressed our concerns about that, as well as not receiving communication and clear communication. So we're really hoping next FAFSA cycle will be much more smooth than this year. We're hoping, yes. So that's that one. Do we have any questions on that? Okay. Well, we are going to finish a little early today. So next, upcoming community events, Q&A. We have some opportunity next webinars that I will share in the chat. So put them in here. We have opportunity next events, and I don't know if Sophie wants to mention anything about opportunity next and the webinars, or. So I didn't mean to put you on.
I have her. No, that's great. Thank you so much, Darla. When you go to this website, there are not that many events yet. However, I have heard from multiple sources that they are planning to post more resources soon. So please continue to use this website. Maybe by June, they'll have some additional ones, because as of today, a few minutes ago, it wasn't updated yet. However, more resources to come.
Great. All right, thank you for that. Also, Sophie and Jennifer both have FAFSA and CASFA office hours, and CASFA is on Thursdays from 2 to 4. Jennifer, hers, do you have your Calendly link, Jennifer? Jennifer can also schedule time with you or
Yes,
students
I'll get
and
it.
families. Oh, no, that's fine. With students and families to help walk through the FAFSA. And Sophie, of course, can help you with the CASFA. So please encourage your students and families to sign up for that. And then we have, we recently received this information from the Community College of Denver. They are having, over the summer, several different dates in which they're having FAFSA and CASFA events completion. They're calling it the FAFSA Fever and CASFA Assistance events, and those are on Wednesdays and one Saturday in June, and then Wednesdays for several weeks. So please find the information there. You can sign up or send any, if you have any questions, you can have them send questions, and then you can go to the events prepared and ready to get your FAFSA or CASFA completed. Any other events that I missed, ladies? I think I got most of them. All right. All right, well, I think that's all that we had on our agenda today. You can always reach out to any of us here at the Colorado Department of Higher Ed. We are more than happy to help you with filling out the FAFSA or CASFA, or support you in any of your outreach events. So thank you. All right, I'm going to stop recording.